Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds delegation-level talks with the Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto in New Delhi. 4 pacts signed. Hamas releases 4 female Israeli hostages in second swap. Palestinian detainees also freed from Israeli jail. US Supreme Court clears extradition of Pakistan-origin terrorist Tahavvur Rana to India, dismisses Rana's plea to avoid extradition for Mumbai attack involvement. Madison Keys stuns Serena Sabalenka in thrilling Australian Open final to clinch maiden Grand Slam title. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a meeting with visiting Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto at Hyderabad House in Delhi on Saturday. The two leaders also held discussion on bilateral and international issues. 4 pacts were signed between the two nations. India and Indonesia exchanged agreements and signed MOUs in the field of health cooperation, traditional medicine, maritime safety cooperation, cultural exchange program and digital development. During the press statement, PM Modi said both countries have decided to strengthen cooperation in areas like artificial intelligence and Internet of Things.
Fintech, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things और डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जैसे क्षेत्रों में हमने आपसी सहयोग को और सशक्त करने का निर्णय लिया है। हेल्थ और फूड सिक्योरिटी के सेक्टर में भारत अपने अनुभव जैसे कि मिड डे मील स्कीम और पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम इंडोनेशिया के साथ साझा कर रहा है। हमने तय किया है कि एनर्जी, क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, स्पेस और स्टेम एजुकेशन के क्षेत्रों में भी साथ मिलकर काम किया जाएगा। आसियान और इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र में इंडोनेशिया हमारा महत्वपूर्ण पार्टनर है। इस पूरे क्षेत्र में शांति, सुरक्षा, समृद्धि और रूल बेस्ड ऑर्डर को बनाए रखने के लिए हम दोनों प्रतिबद्ध हैं। हम सहमत हैं कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कानूनों के अनुरूप फ्रीडम ऑफ नेविगेशन सुनिश्चित होना चाहिए।
Earlier, the Indonesian President met Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Hyderabad House in New Delhi. At the invitation of PM Modi, Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto is on a state visit to India. He is also the chief guest for India's 76th Republic Day celebrations. This is Prabowo's first visit to India since assuming office in October 2024. The two leaders also held bilateral talks at Hyderabad House. The leaders reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening comprehensive strategic partnership with a focus on sectors like defense, security, maritime domain, economic ties and people-to-people connections. During the meeting, PM Modi and President Subianto also exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. Earlier, President Subianto received a ceremonial welcome at the forecourts of Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. He is the chief guest for 76 Republic Day celebrations at Kartavya Path on 26th of January. During his remarks, President Subianto referred to India as a great friend and acknowledged New Delhi as one of the first nations to recognize Indonesia's independence.
Indonesia considers India a very great friend India was one of the first country, maybe the first country to recognize our independence, to support us in our struggle for independence. We will never forget what India did to help us. I'm really honored today, and I'm doubly honored that tomorrow I will be the chief guest at your Republic Day parade.
Shifting focus, Hamas has released 4 Israeli women soldiers who were taken hostage in Gaza. The 4 appear to be in good health. At the main square in Gaza City, the 4 were presented in front of dozens of masked, armed militants who had gathered. The Israeli hostages were transported to Israel in 4 Red Cross vehicles and are now in the custody of Israeli army. They are all members of mainly female unit of observers posted round Gaza to watch for signs of Hamas activity and who were among 251 hostages seized during the attack on October 7. Another female soldier abducted with them is expected to be released in the coming weeks.
We welcomed home 4 more Israeli hostages after 477 days in Hamas captivity. Liri Elbag, age 19. Naama Levi, age 20. Karina Arayev, age 20. Daniela Gilboa, age 20. 4 IDF soldiers who were all abducted by Hamas from Nahal Oz on October 7th, 2023. Today, we salute and embrace them and their families as they reunite just now after so long.
As part of the exchange, buses carrying freed Palestinian detainees departed from 2 Israel prisons. The buses left Offer prison in the occupied West Bank and Zayat prison in Negev desert. In a major win for India, the US Supreme Court has cleared 26/11 attack convict Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India. Rana is wanted in India for his involvement in the 2008 Mumbai attacks. The US Supreme Court dismissed a review petition against Rana's conviction in the case. Rana had filed a petition for a writ of certiorari before the US Supreme Court in November last year. This was denied by Apex Court on January 21st, a day after Donald Trump was sworn in as the American president. Rana is currently detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles. This was Rana's last legal chance not to be extradited to India, as he has already lost the legal battle in several federal courts, including the US Court of Appeals for North Circuit in San Francisco. India was seeking the extradition of Rana, a Canadian national of Pakistani origin, in 2008 Mumbai terrorist attacks case. Rana has been declared a fugitive by India and is facing multiple criminal charges. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday described US President Donald Trump as pragmatic and smart, expressing doubt that Trump would lower global oil prices to harm Russia. Speaking to Russian state television, he further dismissed Trump's threats of new sanctions against Russia, stating that he doesn't believe Trump would take any action that might hurt the American economy. Expressing his willingness to meet the newly inaugurated US president soon, Putin also reiterated that he was open to discussions on issues such as the Ukraine war and energy prices.
Мы слышим о возможности введения дополнительных санкций в отношении России.
We hear about the possibility of imposing additional sanctions against Russia. I doubt that Trump will make such decisions that will harm the American economy itself. He is not only a smart man, he is a pragmatic man, and I can hardly imagine that there will be decisions that harm the American economy itself. It would be better for us to meet based on the realities of today, to talk calmly on those areas that are of interest to both the United States and Russia. We are ready.
Реалии сегодняшнего дня поговорить спокойно по всем тем направлениям, которые представляют.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused his Russian counterpart Putin of trying to manipulate Donald Trump. This comes after Putin praised the US president and expressed readiness for talks with him.
Ще одне. Провів сьогодні ставку.
The report of the head of the Foreign Intelligence Service on Russia's military potential and Putin's readiness to continue the war and manipulate the leaders of the world. And in particular, he wants to manipulate the desire of the President of the United States of America to achieve peace. I am confident that no Russian manipulations will succeed anymore.
Російські маніпуляції більше не
Belarus is set for presidential elections 2025 scheduled for this week. The elections are expected to extend seventh term in power to the president Alexander Lukashenko. Lukashenko, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, has already ruled the Eastern European country for 31 years. The exiled opposition has denounced the elections, calling it meaningless pretense, as all leading critics have been jailed or forced to flee. The last time Belarus staged a presidential election in 2020, Lukashenko was declared the winner with 80% of the vote. Lukashenko faces 4 other candidates, but none has presented any serious challenge or criticism. He has said he is too busy to keep track of the election campaign, but offered a sweetener to voters this week by announcing that pensions would rise by 10% from February 1st. In a historic vote, US Vice President J.D. Vance broke a 50-50 tie to confirm Pete Hegseth, a former Fox News personality, as the new US Secretary of Defense. 3 Republican senators voted against Hegseth's confirmation, citing concerns about his suitability for the role. However, with Vance's tie-breaking vote, Hegseth is set to become the new Pentagon chief. US President Trump expressed happiness on the successful Senate confirmation of his defense secretary pick, Pete Hegseth.
Are 50 and the nays are 50.
No, I'm honored to have Pete. I think Pete's going to be a great Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, and we're honored to have him.
US President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump visit wildfires-affected Los Angeles to view damage from this month's devastating wildfires. It was his first presidential visit since taking office and a potentially contested one after his repeated threats to withhold federal aid to California. The trip to Los Angeles was part of a broader national disaster recovery tour. Earlier on Friday, Trump also visited North Carolina to inspect damage after Hurricane Helene ravaged the area in October. Trump threatened that he would sign an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally overhauling or eliminating the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which he said has fallen short in efforts to assist victims of recent disasters. The agency received $29 billion from Congress in December to fund ongoing relief efforts.
Because FEMA just hasn't done the job, and we're looking at the whole concept of FEMA. I have a group of people come in from an area that don't even know where they're going in order to solve immediately a problem is something that never worked for me. I'll also be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming and overhauling FEMA, or maybe getting rid of FEMA.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced on Friday that the United States is renewing its membership in an international agreement criticized for limiting abortion access for millions of women and girls worldwide. America's top diplomat stated that Washington had informed signatories of the Geneva Consensus Declaration of its intent to rejoin immediately. On January 28, 2021, US President Joe Biden withdrew United States from the declaration. The Geneva Consensus Declaration, originally co-sponsored in 2020 by United States, Brazil, Uganda, Egypt, Hungary and Indonesia, aims to promote anti-abortion policies globally. Still to come on this edition of BB India Live. India's President Draupadi Murmu will address the nation on eve of Republic Day in a short while from now. India's Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah releases final part of BJP's Sankalp Patra or manifesto for Delhi polls.
From the historic milestone of Chandrayaan-3 to the recent space docking mission to the ambitious vision of Gaganyaan, it is an exciting phase for India's space program.
Today, the India is globally accepted as a outstanding spacefaring nation. India, we are having collaboration with 60 countries. Out of that, 40 countries were from global south. If you take Gaganyaan program, it is meant for taking our own astronaut to the space and bring them back safely. Now, to do entire thing safely, we are planning 3 uncrewed missions.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. And India's President Draupadi Murmu will address the nation on the eve of Republic Day in a short while from now. The speech will air at 7 PM IST across all Doordarshan channels and Akashvani in Hindi and English, with regional versions following shortly after. Following the initial broadcast, Doordarshan will continue the transmission in various regional languages on its regional channels. On eve of Republic Day, Indian government on Saturday announced 942 service medals, including 95 gallantry medals for personnel of various central and state police forces. According to the Home Ministry, out of the 95 gallantry awards, 28 have been awarded to security personnel for their service in left-wing extremism affected areas, and 28 medals awarded to security forces in Jammu and Kashmir region, while 3 medals were awarded to personnel in Northeast and 36 others to personnel from other regions. Fire services personnel won 17 medals, and out of 101 President's medals for distinguished service, 85 have been awarded to police personnel, 5 to fire services personnel, 7 to civil defense and home guard service, and 4 to correctional service. Meanwhile, due to the changed scenario in Bangladesh, an operational alert has been initiated across all field formations along the 4,096-kilometer India-Bangladesh border to ensure heightened security and strengthened border outposts. During the Ops Alert exercise, patrolling and other border domination duties have been intensified. The troops are conducting various security drills in both the depth and forward areas along the border during the exercise. India's Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah released the final part of the party's manifesto for the Delhi Assembly elections on Saturday. Key promises include ownership rights for residents of unauthorized colonies, 10 lakh life insurance and 5 lakh accidental insurance for gig workers, 50,000 jobs, and the revival of the Yamuna River. The Delhi Assembly elections will take place in a single phase on February 5, with votes to be counted on February 8. A total of 699 candidates are vying for 70 assembly seats in Delhi. India's Home Minister Amit Shah on Saturday addressed special gathering of Sarpanchs, women entrepreneurs from India's vibrant villages, invited as special guests for this year's Republic Day celebrations. Calling it a beginning of change in mindset, Amit Shah emphasized the dual objectives of the program.
वाइब्रेंट विलेज कार्यक्रम एक अप्रोच के बदलाव का शुरुआत है, दृष्टिकोण के बदलाव की भी शुरुआत है। वाइब्रेंट विलेज प्रोग्राम के डिटेल में जाएंगे तो सड़कें भी बनेगी, दूर संचार की दूरी भी समाप्त हो जाएगी, परंतु सबसे बड़ी बात है कि आपके गांव और दिल्ली के बीच में दिल की जो दूरी है वो दिल की दूरी समाप्त करने का एक कार्यक्रम है, मन की दूरी समाप्त करने का।
100 winners of the Veer Gatha 2024 contest were awarded prizes today by the Indian Defence Minister and Education Minister. Veer Gatha is a contest where school students from across the country submit their sketches, poems and essays on the brave freedom fighters and gallant soldiers of the country. The contest started in 2021 and aims to instill national pride among Indian students. The contest is an initiative of PM Modi and implemented by the Education Ministry of India. The contest sees participation from not just primary standard students but also higher and senior secondary students.
और 23 जनवरी को देश में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की अगुवाई में पराक्रम दिवस मनाई। यही प्रमाणित करता है दुनिया के सबसे बड़ा प्रजातंत्र की उपलब्धि क्या है। उसमें अगर अनेक हम उपलब्धि गिनाएंगे, सबसे बड़ा उपलब्धि में मानूंगा हमारी सामरिक परंपरा और हमारी सामूहिक सेना की हमारी देश की नागरिकों को वीरता के साथ सुरक्षा निरंतर प्रदान करने की जो त्याग, तपस्या, बलिदान रही है, यही हमारी एक प्रमुख उपलब्धि है।
इस प्रोजेक्ट में जिस तरीके से आप सबका एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन रहा है, मैं सच बताऊं कि आज के 3 साल पहले तो मैं इसकी कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकता था। यह प्रोजेक्ट वीर गाथा एक इतना सक्सेसफुल साबित होगा, इसकी मुझे कल्पना नहीं थी। अब 8 लाख बच्चों से इसकी शुरुआत हुई और आज 2.25 करोड़ से ज्यादा बच्चों ने इसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया है।
PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry organized a workshop on hospital fire safety and evacuation of patients in New Delhi. Lieutenant Governor of Delhi V.K. Saxena graced the occasion with his presence and kicked off the workshop. This workshop aims to emphasize the importance of hospital fire safety, enhance preparedness for emergencies and ensure patient evacuation protocols are robust and effective. The idea of organizing such conclaves originates from National Disaster Management Authority. This is the first workshop of its kind in the country. Let's take a look at other stories making news today. India's Textile Minister Giriraj Singh to inaugurate the Handloom Conclave Manthan in New Delhi on 28th of January. During the conclave, the minister will also launch Handloom Weavers E-Pehchan portal and Handloom Awards online module. India's Ministry of Law and Justice organized the Rashtriya Karmayogi Jan Seva program in New Delhi. The event inspire, enlighten and guide central government employees to adopt the Karmayogi way, emphasizing a citizen-centric approach to governance. Indian security forces have launched a massive search operation in Kathua in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir to trace militants who engaged in an exchange of fire with army troops. No casualties were reported yet, and the army suspect, the 3 terrorists, escaped into a nearby forest. In sports, Madison Keys upset Arena Sabalenka 6-3, 2-6, 7-5 in the Australian Open final on Saturday to win her first Grand Slam crown at the age of 29. Keys ended world number 1 Sabalenka's dream of becoming the first woman in 26 years to win a 3rd successive singles crown at Australian Open. Keys withstood a fierce fight back from the 2-time defending champion. Sabalenka, the 2023 and 2024 champion, buried her head in a towel after her 20-match win streak was ended. Keys becomes the 4th oldest first-time winner of a major tournament since 1968. Speed skating competitions took centre stage on day 3rd of Khelo India Winter Games. DD India's Abhishek Mahajan spoke with the medal winners.
So 500 meter finals and 1000 meter final results are out, and I have with me the medalists of 1000 meter finals, Ishan Darvekar. We also have the gold medalist winner of 500 meter finals, Mr. Pranav Madhav, and we also have the silver medalist of 500 meter finals, Samrudh SD, and Samrudh's coach, Ragendra GV, is also with us. Welcome all of you. Ishan, first of all, congratulations to you, first of all. How difficult was the competition?
Well, I'm still out of breath right now because 1000 meters is a hard race, and in Ladakh, with the high altitude, it's very hard. But still, I somehow managed to bag it. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
Pranav, how do you think, is this, you think, a good platform for the youngsters? Khelo India Winter Games, second time running, happening at Ladakh?
Yeah, it's a good platform for the youngsters who want to start ice skating, get into competitions. This is a perfect platform where everybody can get to know the competition levels and everything, how international player trains, how the state team trains, how everybody trains. It's actually a perfect platform for almost every single winter sport to play.
Samrudh, you came second, and I got to know that this is the first time that you took part in ice skating, I should say, competition. Was it difficult to shift from roller skating to ice skating?
Starting it was a bit difficult, but then he taught me all the basics and all, so I saw his videos and also it got easier for me to get used to the track.
You want to answer this question? How difficult was it, the transition from roller skating to ice skating?
For the first timers, I think it's little difficult, but once they get used to it, maybe like a week or 10 days of training, I think they can do really well in ice.
The silver medalist in 1000 meter finals is also with us. Tell us your name first.
My name is Vyom Sawant. I'm from Maharashtra.
Vyom, congratulations, and tell us, how tough was the competition?
Well, the competition is not the thing which is tough about this. It's more of the altitude and the oxygen levels which make it more difficult. Or else he knows how I perform, I know how he performs. We're from the same state, we're from the same team. I've also been skated with Pranav for a long time. But it's the thing, it's the training and the place that differentiates us from one another.
With cameraman Shubham, this is Abhishek Mahajan in Leh for DD India.
That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.